Whether they are torching grassland or burning right outside your front door.
The Panhandles are no stranger to fires, spanning thousands of acres and the devastation they can leave behind.
Today, we'll give you an inside look on the threats wildfires pose and how scientists, firefighters, and the Storm Surge 7 team work together to keep you and your family safe.
Firestorm 2023, brought to you by ServPro of Amarillo.
Good evening and welcome to Firestorm 2023, brought to you by ServPro of Amarillo.
Today we will show you the damage fires can cause and some ways you can stay safe this time of year.
Let's take a deeper dive into the conditions that led to such a destructive year of fires in 2022. A combination of weather conditions combined last year to create one of the more active fire seasons in recent memory. A big reason was good rainfall, which led to plenty of fuel to burn.
We had a pretty good amount of rainfall in the summertime, especially, I think. And so when you get a lot of rain especially during the growing season, most of our fuel for fires is grass, and so that grass will grow up. And then it's inevitably gonna, cure. It's gonna freeze in October, and so you've built up, that source of fuel for these fires.
We received a lot of rain during the first 9 months of 2021. So much, in fact, that most of the Panhandle region was able to get out of the drought entirely by August. Then on October 1st, a major rainstorm dropped about an inch of rain across most of the Panhandles. All that rain helped to grow the natural grass very high by the autumn months. Unfortunately, after that October 1st rainstorm, the Panhandles did not see a drop of rain or snow for 3 months, making it the second longest dry spell in the Panhandle's 200-year history of record keeping. All the tall grass went extremely dry by mid-December. Add in La Nina, and the result was recipe for disaster.
So we get in this repetitive pattern of we don't get a lot of rainfall, prolonged drying, and then in the shorter term we get these windy and dry events that occur, and so those were all factors.
On December 15th, 2021, conditions were prime for fires, and the National Weather Service was monitoring the potential for a southern Great Plains wildfire outbreak.
When you start getting the really high wind gusts and very dry and very low RH, relative humidity, then we get in these conditions where we could have, these outbreak type situations.
A wildfire outbreak is when we see several large grass fires develop on a single day. The conditions were nearly perfect for fires on December 15th. We had a powerful low pressure system situated over southeastern Colorado. This placement leaves the Panhandles to receive dry, warm, and windy conditions. We were getting reports of winds gusting up to 90 miles per hour in the central Texas Panhandle, with relative humidity values in the single digits. These weather conditions, combined with a huge amount of grass available to burn, led to a busy day for fire crews. The first fire on December 15th started at 11 in the morning, and more developed in various regions of the Panhandles well into the afternoon. The largest fire that day was the North 207 fire that burned over 23,000 acres in Carson County. The fire forced evacuations in Skellytown as it continued to slowly push east. The fire was brought under control that evening as the winds calmed down as it was approaching the Pampa Airport and the community of Wayside. We saw several other days with critical to extreme fire danger during the 2022 fire season. Because of that, it's certainly a year many fire crews and residents won't soon forget. Unfortunately, the 2022 fire season also claimed the life of volunteer firefighter Jason Smith. He was one of 2 firefighters severely injured in Balco, Oklahoma, when their tanker truck overturned while fighting a wildfire in April. He later succumbed to his injuries a month later. His sacrifice is a testament to the power of wildfires and the bravery of fire crews that try to contain them.
Taking preemptive action from wildfires is more important than ever. ABC 7's Mitchell Downing spoke with a wildfire mitigation specialist about how to protect your home and your property ahead of fire season.
The Texas Panhandle is notorious for its high winds. When that's combined with low humidity, you've got the perfect recipe for extreme wildfire risk.
If the wildfire gets big enough, we have a set number of firefighters even when we start bringing in other departments to help. So we can't literally set a fire truck at each person's home to do the protection.
Archie Stone is the wildfire mitigation supervisor with the Borger Fire Department. He and his team work year-round to minimize the city's vulnerability to wildfire, and he encourages Panhandle residents to do the same.
There's a lot of things that individual homeowners, businesses really need to take a look at. Their location, number one.
Stone says that houses out in the country surrounded by CRP fields are most vulnerable, but that does not mean that homes in town are not at risk.
If a fire was to start in there, it's no different than if it's out in the middle of a field and come racing towards town. It can still, damage your property and everything you've worked for.
According to Stone, there are several easy things you can do to protect your home. First, remove all flammable vegetation like tall, unmowed grass, grass clippings, tumbleweeds, or leaves.
You want to try to keep that out. Anything that is directly on your house and leaves a spot for embers from the wildfire to set. It's not necessarily the wildfire itself, it's the embers coming off of it and finding pockets of fuel up by your home that catch fire ahead of the fire.
You should also move combustible materials like firewood, propane, or gasoline away from your home.
You're raising your odds a lot, that if we can't set somebody on it, that it's going to survive.
Additionally, Stone stressed to me the importance of taking evacuation notices seriously.
Once you're evacuated, please evacuate. That's one less thing that us as first responders have to worry about. We're already trying to do everything we can to stop the fire, protect what homes we can, but, human life is always going to be a priority for us.
For more information on home defense and evacuation plan information, you can visit the ABC 7 News app or our website, abc7amarillo.com. Reporting in Borger, I'm Mitchell Downing, ABC 7 News.